Thank you very much. Now, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker from Kazoora, my Lord Bishop and friend of the family, honorable ministers who are here present, members of Parliament, UPDF family, and all of us mourners. Before I start, I've been asked that I ask a few, actually all students of Nakasero school, those of you who went to school, if you can come very quickly, we sing the school hymn, and that is all my speech, because I wish it could be projected. There's nothing else to add. Please hurry up. Nakasero, you know you didn't waste time. Ninza kwa Beatrice, nyonyesha ngure base.
Years of struggle lie behind us, ceaseless labor, little gain. Ever let those years remind us, sunshine follows after rain. Alternating joy and sorrow, hope deferred, success achieved. Teach us that on each tomorrow, each day's loss may be retrieved. May the joy of serving others be to us our true reward. Let us love indeed as brothers, as disciples of the Lord. So today and so tomorrow, Nakasero school shall be equally in joy and sorrow, faithful Lord of hosts to thee.
Thank you very much. From the speeches that were given at the vigil, and from a few that have been made, I really have nothing else to add, except to confirm that for the last 51.5 years, John has been my closest friend. He joined us in the second term of Senior 2 in 1974. I don't think many of you were born. And he was introduced to me by his late brother, Benjamin Kazoora, who was then the house prefect of Commander House. And I took care of John. We are the same age, actually a few months older than me. When Canon Apollo, again, I don't want to go through the details of the structure of Nakasero. Nakasero was like a military school. The founder was actually a captain of the Navy. So we're structured like a military school. So 2G, which was one stream of senior 2, took care of senior 1. And we were at Canon Apollo, and John joined us. I was with late Gen Yoweri, the other 3, Edward Triasingura, Frank Triasingura, and Charles Karira. So we received John, and as I said, the rest is history.
The Uganda Communications Commission is here to protect integrity for our entertainment spaces. We want a safe, respectful environment for everyone. By working together with artists, event promoters, local governments, and security agencies, we are ensuring that public entertainment stays within the bounds of public morality and law. Under the Stage Plays in Public Entertainment Act, the Commission now requires all event organizers to secure an entertainment permit before staging any performance or advertisement. Getting your permit is easy and can be done online through our e-services platform. Security agencies, including the Uganda Police, will be verifying permits using our new QR code system, ensuring that only authorized events take place. Together, we can create a positive entertainment environment that reflects our values and keeps us proud. Secure your permit today. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Communications Commission. Communication for all.
So some of the values that you see, in my view, are really structured around 2 things. The way you are nurtured and nature. Honorable Media Matembe talked about my aunt, Omkekuru Manjeri. Gen Sabiiti has just confirmed. By the way, Gen Sabiiti, I also grew up in Kashari. I came to know all the team that you have talked about, because my father served as a very lowly civil servant in Kachwamba, Wanyamahembe, Nkomurka, Akari head clerk, Aishaza, Uwakani Wajetaka Tambara, Kashari, and he was nurtured by Mzee Wakanuma and so on. So I grew up in Kashari. So, following up, at the time when I met John, I went to find out where he came from. First, I asked my father and my mother. I told them about this young man, and my father just opened the book. And as they say, the rest is history. We are so connected, very, very connected. So why do I say nature? Most of the values that you see in Kazoora now, that reflect his character, they come from his parents. One of Manyamanjeri, one of Manyamzei, Kazoora. Kazoora served in the 7th King's African Rifles, 7th Battalion, Battalion 7. Like our president is named after them. Actually, when he came, because he was a driver, then it was called Angwele Kingdom, but obviously it evolved as a district. But he was the senior driver. So all the people who served in the public service acknowledge Mzee Kazoora. How can we transfer him? He had the Land Rover for the district commissioner. He also had the big, what you call a moving vehicle. All chiefs were moved by this man, a soldier. Manjeri, what you saw is what you got. There was nothing. So I'm not surprised. So, Asim, my godson, by the way, you made a fantastic speech. Arnold, Carlton, Leumkuru, Nani Kureva Nideno Enoka, Mzee Kazoora.
The Uganda Communications Commission is here to protect integrity for our entertainment spaces. We want a safe, respectful environment for everyone. By working together with artists, event promoters, local governments, and security agencies, we are ensuring that public entertainment stays within the bounds of public morality and law. under the Stage Plays and Public Entertainment Act. The Commission now requires all event organizers to secure an entertainment permit before staging any performance or advertisement. Getting your permit is easy and can be done online through our e-services platform. Security agencies, including the Uganda Police, will be verifying permits using our new QR code system, ensuring that only authorized events take place. Together, we can create a positive entertainment environment that reflects our values and keeps us proud. Secure your permit today. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Communications Commission. Communication for all.
So the way he was nurtured, I always tell our children that if I came home with a pencil that my father did not know was mine, I was forced to return it. Children, you run, you pick a sweater, you arrive home, it's not your sweater, you return it. It doesn't matter what time of the day. So I'm not surprised that some of the values that you see, at least our generation, and I want to encourage those of you who are younger than us to make sure that you embed them in your children. That's what defines you. The word you ended with, character, is really a consequence of how you are brought up, what you see. We belong to the whole county. I don't know how many of us were beaten by strange people. Now children are taught not to say hello to people they don't know. For us, that was not there. Okay, times have changed. One of us told us, be careful about your neighbor. When you stand, be careful. When you walk in, be careful. Yes, you have to do it, but sometimes, for us, it's quite different. So, nature, the way he was brought up, not just by his mother and father, but the entire community. And obviously the next one is nature. What defines his adulthood? So let me quickly explain. The Nakasero life was strict military. You never walked on the green. When you had the bell for breakfast, you reported. 15 minutes afterwards, if you are not there, you didn't have breakfast. You didn't have lunch. So fast forward, 1975, John and I became house prefects. I was the house prefect for Commander House, and he was Valia House. And then 1977, of course, when you went to Nakasero for O level, you also naturally went back for A level. But you had to pass, so it was not. So he became a house captain of Valia House, late Gen Yoweri Commiso House, and I was house captain for Commander House. In his book, I think he writes about how he knew his results. 1979, it wasn't easy. The first lorry that went to Mbarara, I was on it. Don't ask me how. Then I walked from Mbarara and went to Toma to give him his results. He was thrilled. And I sent a message to Beno Nibraro as well. So we've been tight, we've been together. At Makerere, we transitioned after first year to become leaders. So that's how the seed was planted, from Nakasero to Makerere. We became student leaders. Maybe I didn't deserve it, because Northcote Hall, may its soul rest in peace. I was told I was not supposed to be chairman, but I won. I remember my sister Hope, who is here, came to visit me once, and they abused her. And I stood up, I said, no, you have to respect people. He said, no, she comes from Africa. There is a name I can't say here, how they call Africa, ladies from Africa. And they planned to put me. I said, no, you cannot. So John was my neighbor in Nkrumah Hall, famously called Kabinda. They were we controlled Kabinda. We had a state called Northcote. We never lost on anything. So John was very, very vital in shaping up Makerere discipline. I remember when the guild was removed, John and I conspired and went to see Uncle George Chukuru. We used to call him Uncle George. He was the dean. And because we never gave up, we convinced Uncle George Chukuru that since the guild has been removed by the Obote government, why don't we propose? Because we want to help you. The Council of Chairmen. It was unconstitutional. It was not anywhere in the books. Uncle George said, okay, that's a good idea, Karahanga and Kazoora. Let's think about it, come back tomorrow. We went back the next day, and he said, I will involuntarily consult you because I don't think you will survive. By the way, you're exposing yourselves because we had already identified with the party that was the founding party of this government now. So John always found ways to help. And so the leadership traits that you see today, when I reflect over the last 51 and a half years, they were already embedded. And I would like to encourage the young people today that when the service, the community service that we talk about, how else would John live? The truth, the honesty, the principle, the farm, that was embedded. Some of us are quiet, we are not politically exposed, but we also deal with things when they come. And we know how to deal with them. We might not be as vocal, we might not, but this is embedded. From the way we are brought up, the way we have been trained, the way we have been exposed, and sometimes the way you gauge the community and you see how to go about things. So Bishop, don't be surprised about John. This is something, unfortunately, we never have occasions where you talk about people when they're still alive. So sometimes it's like a void in your stomach. That why didn't I share this at some stage? I stood on Gen Yowero's vigil. I'm standing here. I talked about Gen Yowero's at Gen Yowero's funeral. And it makes me really, really empty. That from now onwards, except that now there are few, we should find time and share some of these things, especially with our families, so that the children can know the people that you see, the people that now you admire, how did they evolve in very, very difficult circumstances? So now I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your resolve, for your steadfastness, for standing there, my friend. Yesterday you used some words, I was very scared. Please don't repeat them when you come here. Because our friendship is so ingrained. John, when he was in second year, I think he had malaria. We had, I don't know whether it is still standing, the university clinic. He fell and I think he lost his fourth tooth. I had to carry him at night to the clinic. He was tested and he had typhoid. And we've been together. So every time John has been unwell, I have known. And where I can, I have been there. John also had he could be advised. We've talked about his farm, his board, So in Senior 3 there was a strike, and that strike was an unprincipled strike. Actually, with due respect, I don't know whether Gen Yoweri is here, but he sort of initiated it. And I'm using sort of, so that in legal terms I'm not. And I had been on duty as a prefect, and that evening, a couple of things had arrived. We had introduction to biology. I think it used to be called McKinney. So many copies had arrived. Those days, as a prefect, you would go for purposes of accountability to receive these state supplies. Mishozi was our teacher in biology. There was another stock of physics books. Mr. Hawa was our teacher, and so on and so forth. So this strike, when it started, I saw some people planning to burn the store. So I went and talked to John. Actually, Gen Yoweri was triggered this strike because I think Gen Yoweri did something to him that was not allowed. So I went to John, I said, John, and I think it's my caution that always John, whenever he was in doubt, he would call me. Even some of these difficult things that now you're talking about, he would call me and say, what do you think? I told John, nobody, whatever you are planning, and Gen Yoweri, do not go near the store, do not go near the library, go and do whatever you want to do, but don't come here. I didn't whistle blow, but I warned them. I called them, I said, John always listens to sound advice. We saved the books. Those who came after us, the Chiraxos, I'm sure you enjoyed those books. Then the various strikes that came on, John was always, he would warn. Let me wind up, because I know we don't have much time. This cliche of servant leadership that you talk so much about these days, John, long before you started talking about it, John became the servant leader. He led from the base. That is why you call him an effective mobilizer. John will study the environment, will assess it, will know the troublemakers, but he will generally yield from the ground. He was a servant leader. In most cases, he was not at the front. And that's why in intelligence he served very well, I'm sure. Now that he's passed on, let me declassify some information. Some of it became public, but let me declassify. Two items. So in 1987, there was an interview. They wanted the marketing manager for Kosh Marketing Board. I was in London, I had finished my graduate school. I was working in a very serious commodities company. There were no mobile phones, but somebody said there's a job that has been advertised. I applied. I wanted to come back home as well, and I applied. This job was, I thought afterwards, it was such an important job because the state got involved. Some of the information is public now. So after 6 months, after the interview, there was no response. I came back to the country to see my parents. I was also planning to come back. So I saw John. And John said, I said, what do you mean? He said, you applied for a job, but the big people, everybody is involved in this job. They are trying to find out who you are, what you studied, you are so young. I said, for a small job like this is the state you have brought. They are involved in. Let me cut the story short. Finally, John told me, you passed the interview, you are the best, but most likely you will not get the job. I said, fine. I had a very good job actually where I was. And I was curious, I said, why? So he mentioned a few people, some of them he was working with. He said, no, we don't want this guy. I stand here to tell you that John stood all the way with me. I got that job. And recently he classified this information and gave it to me. And I have forgiven those people who were standing in my way. The other information I want to declassify is when he was in prison. My wife reminded me a few times that we visited. I thought of something I did not have power to do, but which I thought might influence the decisions that may follow. Nkaronda omukekuru manje namubwira nti tuze kureba John atwandikire baraha tugitwarira abakuru. Because I did not understand what he was going through. Omukekuru manje agreed. I arranged a meeting. I did not even see the ultimate powers. But I saw somebody who whispered, and I think finally Manje felt that there was an impact. Again, I want to thank John for having allowed me to do that. Now, finally, 16th December 1989, in our church, John stood next to me as my best man. He has honored everything that best men should do. He has advised me, he has counseled me, he has been very close to my wife Diana, who is here, maybe you can wave, and our children, and Arnold, and Asimwe, and Naomi will be with you. So, to all those friends that I represent, I might have given my personal testimony, but I think it embraces all your testimonies. Thank you so much, John, for being a true friend, for being principled, for being bold, but above all, for having been shaped into a statesman representing your country and your fruits. As Honorable Amanyamshega said yesterday, your fruits will be shared long, long after you've gone. Thank you so much.